ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk to you about one simple truth that can change the direction of a life. Your effort will be rewarded. Not always immediately, not always loudly, not always in the way you expect, but rewarded if you keep going. Because the world is full of people who quit one step before the breakthrough, who walk away just before the season turns, who stop digging when the treasure is inches below the dirt. And it's not because they weren't capable. It's because they got tired of doing the work before the work started showing results. So if you've been working hard and you're wondering, where is it? Where is the payoff? Where is the sign that this is worth it? Listen closely. The payoff often arrives after you've decided it's not coming. That's why it belongs to the persistent. That's why it belongs to the disciplined. That's why it belongs to the person who keeps showing up when motivation disappears. And if you can become that person, if you can build the habit of effort, the identity of effort, you will become unstoppable. Let's be honest about what effort feels like. Effort is waking up early when the bed is warm and your body begs you to stay. Effort is saying, not today, to distractions that look harmless but steal years. Effort is practicing the same thing again and again until you're sick of it, until you think, I already know this, and then realizing you didn't know it deeply enough to perform it under pressure. Effort is doing the right thing when nobody is clapping. Effort is studying when your friends are relaxing. Effort is training when you'd rather scroll. Effort is saving money when you want to spend it. Effort is being patient when your emotions want revenge. Effort is showing kindness when your ego wants to win. Effort is not glamorous. Effort is not always fun. Effort is not always praised, and still effort is the seed. And if you plant it long enough in the right soil, it becomes the harvest. But here's the problem. Most people don't quit because they're weak. They quit because they misunderstand how progress works. They expect progress to look like a straight line. Work a little, improve a little, work a little, improve a little, like climbing steps. But in real life, progress often looks like this. You work, you work, you work, you work, and nothing seems to change. Then one day, something shifts. A door opens, a skill clicks, a connection appears, your confidence rises, your results show up, your life changes, and people will call it luck. But you will know the truth. It was earned. There's a reason hard work eventually pays off, and it has nothing to do with magic. It has to do with something far more powerful: compounding. Compounding is what happens when small things stack over time until they become huge. One workout doesn't change your body. 10 workouts don't change your body. But 100 workouts? 1,000? Now you're different. 1 page of reading doesn't change your mind. But 50 books? 100? Now you think differently. 1 day of saving doesn't change your bank account. But 12 months of consistent saving? 5 years? Now you have options. 1 act of honesty doesn't build a reputation. But hundreds of honest decisions, especially when lying would be easier, now you have trust. And trust is a currency more valuable than money. Compounding is the reason effort matters even when you can't see the results yet. Because your effort is not just producing an outcome, it's producing you. Every time you choose discipline, you become more disciplined. Every time you choose courage, you become more courageous. Every time you choose focus, you become more focused. Every time you choose consistency, you become more consistent. And eventually, people will meet the version of you that you built in private and they'll be shocked. But you won't be shocked. You'll remember the mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the days you didn't feel like it, the days you still did it. That's the reward. The reward is not only the achievement. The reward is the person you became while you were chasing it. Let me tell you something that might sound strange. The delay is not the denial. The delay is the training. Think about it. If results came instantly, would you build character? If everything you wanted arrived the first time you tried, would you learn patience? Would you learn humility? Would you learn resilience? Would you learn how to stand back up? No. You would become fragile. You would become entitled. You would become dependent on quick outcomes to feel confident. The delay, the waiting, the grind, the repetition forces you to grow roots. And a tree with deep roots can survive storms that snap weak trees in half. So when you're in a season where your effort feels invisible, don't assume it's pointless. It might be the season where you're building strength that will hold you steady when success finally comes and everything starts to shake. Because success shakes people, too. And if you haven't built the inner foundation through effort, success can crush you the way failure can. So don't curse the slow season. Don't despise the training season. Don't rush the process that's making you solid. Your effort is building a backbone. Now, I want to speak to the person who's tired, not a little tired. Not, I need a nap, tired. I mean tired in the soul. Tired of trying. Tired of hoping. Tired of watching others pass you. Tired of being strong for everyone else. Tired of believing and not seeing evidence. If that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are in development. The world compares timelines like they mean everything. They don't. Some people bloom early and fade quickly. Some people bloom later and last longer. Some people get fast results because they're standing on foundations built by others, resources, connections, stability, and there's no shame in that. But it is not the whole story. Your story may be different. Your path may be longer. Your road may be rougher. But do not mistake a slower start for a broken destiny. You are not failing because it's taking time. You are not weak because you need rest. You are not hopeless because you feel doubt. You are human. And you are learning to persist. And persistence is not loud. Persistence is quiet. Persistence is waking up and trying again. Persistence is doing the basics on the days when you feel nothing. That kind of persistence doesn't just win, it changes who you are permanently. Let's talk about the lie that destroys effort. The lie is, if I don't see results quickly, it must not be working. That lie kills careers. It kills relationships. It kills dreams. It kills health. It kills creativity. It kills confidence. Because it convinces you that effort is only valuable if it gets a quick reward. But effort has two rewards: the external result you want, the internal strength you need. And the internal strength is often built first. Have you ever watched a stonecutter at work? They raise the hammer and strike the stone. Nothing happens. They strike again. Nothing happens. They strike again. Still nothing. Then, on what looks like an ordinary strike, the stone cracks in half. Now, which strike broke the stone? Was it the last one? No. It was every strike that came before it, the strikes that looked useless, the strikes that didn't show a visible change, the strikes that made the final strike possible. That is your effort. That is the study session where you didn't feel smarter. That is the rehearsal where you didn't feel better. That is the job application where you didn't get the call back. That is the business idea that didn't take off the first time. That is the attempt that ended in disappointment. Each strike matters. You may not see the cracks forming, but they are forming. Now, effort doesn't mean blindly suffering. It doesn't mean grinding without reflection. It doesn't mean punishing yourself. Effort means intentional work. It means you show up and you pay attention. It means you do the reps and you learn from them. It means you try and you adjust. It means you fail and you refine. And that is why effort is eventually rewarded, because effort makes you smarter. The person who stays in the game long enough learns patterns that others never notice. They learn what doesn't work. They learn what matters. They learn what is noise. They learn how to endure. And when you endure long enough with a clear mind, you become skilled, and skilled people get paid. Skilled people get opportunities. Skilled people get trusted. Skilled people get chosen. Not because the world is always fair, but because skill is valuable, and skill is created through effort. Let's zoom in on something crucial. Motivation is not reliable, but discipline is trainable. Some days you will wake up energized. Some days you will wake up empty. Some days you'll feel confident. Some days you'll feel like a fraud. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Some days you'll feel like quitting at lunchtime. If your effort depends on your feelings, your progress will be random. But if your effort depends on your values, your progress will be consistent. So you have to decide who is in charge, your emotions or your mission, because your emotions will change like weather, but your mission can stay steady like the ocean. Here is a powerful question you can ask yourself on the hard days. What would the person I want to become do today? Not the person you are right now. Not the person who feels tired. Not the person who is anxious. The person you want to become. Would that person show up? Would that person take one small step? Would that person make the call, write the page, do the rep, practice the skill, speak the truth, set the boundary, then do that? Not perfectly, not all at once, not with fireworks. Just do it. That is effort. And listen, effort is not always about doing more. Sometimes effort is about doing the right things consistently, even if they are simple. Most lives are changed by boring habits. Drinking water, sleeping on time, reading daily, practicing a craft, saving money, speaking kindly, listening carefully, showing up on time, keeping promises, working when it's inconvenient. Boring habits create extraordinary results because boring habits are sustainable. People want breakthroughs, but they avoid routines. They want transformation, but they avoid repetition. They want victory, but they avoid the daily work that builds it. But daily work is where the reward is hidden. It's hidden in the ordinary. The ordinary day is where your future is built. Now let's talk about the moment when you're tempted to stop, because it will come. It always comes. You will be tempted to stop when you feel like you're not improving. Someone criticizes you. Someone else succeeds faster. You face rejection. You make a mistake. You get tired. You get bored. You get scared. And in that moment, You will hear a voice maybe inside you, maybe from others, that says, "Why are you still trying?" Here is what you tell that voice. Because I don't need immediate proof to stay committed. I need a reason. And your reason might be your family, your dream, your faith, your future, your freedom, your health, your self-respect, your purpose. You keep going because your reason is bigger than your discomfort. You keep going because you are not building for applause. You are building for a life you can be proud of. Let me give you a picture of how effort gets rewarded in real life. Sometimes the reward is obvious. You get the job. You earn the degree. You win the competition. You launch the business. You hit the goal. But sometimes the reward is subtle. You gain confidence. You gain discipline. You gain clarity. You gain peace. You gain self-control. You gain maturity. You gain wisdom. And those subtle rewards are often the ones that create a good life. Because what is the point of success if you hate yourself in the mirror? What is the point of money if you have no peace? What is the point of applause if you have no integrity? What is the point of being admired if you can't rest at night? Effort rewards you with alignment. It rewards you with a strong inner life. It teaches you to trust yourself, and that might be the greatest reward of all. Knowing that you can rely on you, knowing that when it gets hard, you don't disappear, knowing that when it gets uncomfortable, you don't run. Knowing that you can face difficulty and still move forward. That is power. I want to address another painful truth. Sometimes you work hard and life still hits you. You can be disciplined and still face loss. You can be consistent and still face setbacks. You can do your best and still face unfairness. That's real. But here's what effort does in those moments. Effort doesn't guarantee life won't hurt you. Effort guarantees you won't be helpless when it does. Effort builds the muscles you need to survive. It builds problem solving, patience, resilience, adaptability, courage, self-respect. So even when the reward isn't immediate, effort is still protecting you. It's still preparing you. It's still strengthening you. And one day you'll look back and realize the hard seasons didn't break you. They trained you. Now, let's get practical. If you want to live this truth, if you want to become the kind of person whose effort is rewarded, here are some principles you can carry into tomorrow morning. Decide what you will not negotiate. Negotiation is where discipline goes to die. If you negotiate with yourself every day, should I study, should I train, should I write? Your emotions will win half the time. But if you decide ahead of time, I train at this hour, I read daily, I practice my skill, I work on my goal for 30 minutes, then you're not relying on motivation. You're relying on identity. Stop measuring progress by mood. Some days you'll feel amazing and do little. Some days you'll feel awful and do a lot. Your feelings are not a scoreboard. Measure progress by actions. Did you show up? Did you do the rep? Did you keep the promise? Did you take the step? That's progress. Make your efforts small enough to be consistent. People fail because they plan like machines and live like humans. Start with what you can repeat. 10 minutes daily beats 2 hours once a month. Consistency makes effort powerful. Track your effort, not just your outcomes. Outcomes can be delayed. Effort can be measured today. If you track your effort, days practiced, hours studied, workouts completed, you can build confidence even before results show up. Because you can say, I'm building. I'm moving. I'm not stuck. Build patience like it's a skill. Patience is not passive. Patience is active endurance. It's showing up while the reward is still invisible. It's believing in the process while the proof is still missing. And when you practice patience, you become rare, because most people cannot tolerate the silence between effort and reward. Now I want to return to the main message, because it deserves to be repeated until it settles into your bones. Your effort will be rewarded, but the reward is not a vending machine. You don't insert effort and receive success instantly. The reward is more like farming. You plant, you water, you protect the seed. You keep the weeds out. You endure the weather. You wait. And one day, when it's time, the ground breaks open and the harvest shows up. You cannot rush seasons, but you can remain faithful in them. So if you're in a season of planting, don't complain that you're not harvesting yet. If you're in a season of training, don't complain that you're not performing yet. If you're in a season of learning, don't complain that you're not mastering yet. You're not late, you're not failing, you're growing. I want to speak to the person who is watching others succeed and feeling bitter. You see their results and you think, why not me? I'm trying to. Listen carefully. Comparison is a thief. It steals gratitude. It steals confidence. It steals joy. It steals energy. And it distracts you from the only timeline that matters, yours. Use other people's success as evidence that effort can pay off, not as proof that you're behind. Let their story inspire you, not insult you. And remember, you do not know the full price they paid. You do not know the sacrifices. You do not know the private pain. You do not know the late nights. You do not know the failures they swallowed before they found their rhythm. And even if their path was easier, that does not mean yours is impossible. It means your reward may include strength that theirs never required. And that strength will serve you. Now, I want you to think of the goal you've been chasing. Maybe it's a career goal. Maybe it's a health goal. Maybe it's a creative dream. Maybe it's a business plan. Maybe it's a personal change, becoming calmer, kinder, more consistent, more confident. Whatever it is, I want you to see it clearly. Then I want you to see something else. I want you to see the future version of yourself, the one who didn't quit, the one who kept going. They are not perfect. They still struggle. They still feel fear sometimes. But they kept showing up, and now they stand in a different life. A life with more options, more confidence, more peace, more strength, more impact. That version of you is not a fantasy. It is a possibility. And the bridge between you and that version is not luck. The bridge is effort. Daily effort. Quiet effort. Unseen effort. The kind of effort that doesn't need applause to continue. Let's talk about identity. Because this is where effort becomes unstoppable. When you say, I'm trying to work hard, you can stop anytime. But when you say, I am a hard worker, you behave differently. When you say, I'm trying to be disciplined, you can quit when it's hard. But when you say, I am disciplined, you return to the path even after you fall. When you build identity, effort stops being something you do and starts being something you are. And how do you build identity? Through evidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you create evidence. Every time you take the step, you create evidence. Every time you refuse to quit, you create evidence. and evidence builds belief. So if you don't believe in yourself yet, don't wait for belief. Start collecting evidence. Show up today, then show up tomorrow, then show up again. And soon you'll look in the mirror and say, I'm becoming someone I can trust. That is the beginning of a new life. Now, I want to acknowledge something important. Effort can be lonely. When you decide to change, not everyone will celebrate you. When you decide to focus, not everyone will understand you. When you decide to aim higher, some people will try to pull you back down, not always out of hate, sometimes out of fear, because your effort reminds them of what they've avoided. So you must protect your effort. Protect it with boundaries. Protect it with routines. Protect it with a circle of people who respect your growth. And when you don't have that circle yet, be your own supporter. Speak to yourself like someone you love. Because effort grows best in an environment of encouragement, not constant self-attack. You can demand excellence without cruelty. You can be disciplined without hatred. You can pursue greatness without destroying your spirit. Effort should build you, not break you. Let's talk about failure, because failure is part of effort, and people misunderstand failure too. They think failure is evidence they aren't good enough. They think failure is proof they should stop. But failure is often proof that you're doing something real. If you never fail, you're either not trying or you're staying in places you've already mastered. Failure is a teacher. It teaches you where you're weak, what you need to learn, what matters, what doesn't, how to adapt. The only true loss is quitting while you still have a chance to learn. So when you fail, don't collapse into shame. Stand up and ask, what is this trying to teach me? What can I do differently? What can I improve? What can I keep? Then keep going. Effort is rewarded not because the road is smooth, but because effort makes you the kind of person who can navigate rough roads without giving up. Now let me paint the final picture. Imagine two people at the starting line. One person is motivated. They feel inspired. They feel excited. They make big promises. They post big announcements. The other person is committed. They are calm. They are quiet. They are consistent. The motivated person goes hard for a week, then disappears. The committed person goes steadily for months, then years. At the end, who changes? Who wins? Who gets the reward? The committed person. Because motivation is a spark, commitment is a fire, and effort is the wood you keep putting on the fire. So here is my challenge to you, and it's simple. Do not quit on your effort. Do not quit because it's slow. Do not quit because it's hard. Do not quit because you're tired. Do not quit because you're afraid. Do not quit because someone doubted you. Do not quit because you failed. Do not quit because it doesn't look impressive yet. Keep going. Take the next step. And if the next step feels too big, take a smaller one. But move. Because effort is never wasted. Even when it doesn't produce the result you want immediately, it produces a stronger you. And a stronger you can create results later. Your effort is building momentum. And momentum is dangerous in a good way. Because once momentum starts, it becomes easier to keep moving than to stop. One step becomes two. Two becomes five. Five becomes a habit. A habit becomes a lifestyle. A lifestyle becomes a destiny. I want you to leave with these words echoing in your mind the next time you feel like giving up. Your effort will be rewarded. It might be rewarded with success. It might be rewarded with wisdom. It might be rewarded with peace. It might be rewarded with confidence. It might be rewarded with freedom. But it will be rewarded if you stay faithful. So show up tomorrow. Show up when you don't feel like it. Show up when nobody notices. Show up when the results are quiet. Show up when the season is slow. Keep striking the stone. Keep watering the seed. Keep building the foundation. Because one day, sooner than you think, later than you want, you'll look back and realize the truth. The effort you almost abandoned was the effort that changed everything. And when that day comes, you won't just be proud of what you achieved. You'll be proud of who you became. So take a breath, lift your head, and step forward again. Your effort will be rewarded. Your effort will be rewarded. Not because the universe keeps a tidy spreadsheet where every late night earns an exact payout, but because consistent work changes you, and once you change, your results eventually have no choice but to follow. Most people quit in the silent phase. That stretch of time when you're doing everything right and still nothing seems to move. You practice, you study, you show up, you sacrifice comfort, and the world gives you silence. No applause, no breakthrough, no sudden glow-up. Just another day where you wonder if you're wasting your life. But here's the truth. The silent phase isn't proof that your effort is useless. It's proof that your effort is working underground. The quiet math of progress. Progress doesn't usually arrive like a fireworks show. It arrives like math. If you improve 1% a day, it won't feel dramatic on day 3, or day 10, or day 30. It'll feel almost insulting, like you're sweating for crumbs. But compounding doesn't ask for your permission. It happens anyway. Tiny gains stack, then stack on top of themselves. And one day you look back and realize you've become unrecognizable. This is why hard work eventually pays off. The payment is delayed because the work is building something that can't be rushed. Capability. Capability is the most underrated currency in the world. Money can be lost. Luck can be stolen by randomness. Attention can vanish overnight. But capability stays with you. It's the invisible engine behind every visible win. Hard work pays off because it buys you. Skill, you get better at the craft. Stamina, you can endure more without breaking. Judgment, you learn what matters and what doesn't. Confidence, not motivational confidence. Earned confidence. Reputation, people. Trust what you repeatedly do. Options. You can choose higher value paths. Even when your effort doesn't immediately change your circumstances, it changes your trajectory. And trajectory is destiny with a calendar. The seed and the harvest. Think of effort like planting seeds. No one plants a seed and digs it up the next morning saying, well, nothing happened. That would be ridiculous. You water it, protect it, give it time. The first part of growth is invisible because roots come before fruit. Hard work is root building. When you learn a difficult skill, the early days are roots. When you start going to the gym, the early weeks are roots. When you begin saving money, the first months are roots. When you build a business, the first year might be roots. When you heal from a painful chapter, the first stage is roots. Roots are not glamorous. Roots don't get likes. Roots don't get congratulated. Roots don't feel like winning. But roots are why the tree doesn't fall when the wind shows up. A lot of people want the harvest with no planting, or planting with no waiting, or waiting with no watering. The ones who eventually make it aren't always the smartest. They're the ones who keep watering the seed when there's no proof it's growing. Eventually is not a lie, it's a test. The word eventually is where most dreams die. Eventually means not now, not today, maybe not this month, possibly not this year. Eventually means you might have to keep going while everyone around you assumes you've lost. That's the test. Life rarely asks, "Do you want this?" Life asks, "Do you want this enough to look foolish for a while?" Because for a time, effort without results looks like foolishness. It looks like obsession. It looks like delusion. It looks like you're overworking for nothing. But effort without results isn't foolishness, it's training. A boxer doesn't step into the ring the first week they start training. A surgeon isn't trusted after a few days of reading. A writer doesn't publish a masterpiece after one awkward draft. A musician doesn't headline a stage after 2 practice sessions. The world celebrates outcomes, but outcomes are just the last page of the story. Your work is the whole book. Why hard work really pays off. Hard work pays off in multiple ways, and not all of them are obvious. Hard work reveals what you're made of. When you keep going after the excitement fades, you meet the real version of yourself. Not the motivated you. Not the New Year's resolution you. The you who shows up when it's boring, when it's slow, when you're tired, when no one is watching. That version of you is powerful, because anyone can work when it's fun. The world is full of people who sprint for 3 days and collapse, but the person who can show up steadily becomes rare, and rarity creates value. Hard work turns fear into familiarity. Many people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're unfamiliar. The first time you try something, it's scary. The 10th time, it's manageable. The 100th time, it's part of who you are. Hard work doesn't magically erase fear. It makes fear normal. And once fear becomes normal, it stops controlling you. Hard work teaches you patience, and patience is power. Impatience is expensive. It makes you quit too early, choose shallow shortcuts, chase shiny distractions, and abandon things the moment they stop rewarding you. Patience is not passive. Patience is the ability to keep building without immediate payoff. It's one of the strongest competitive advantages you can have because so few people can tolerate delay. Hard work puts you in rooms you can't access otherwise. Opportunities don't just float around looking for random people. Opportunities look for signs, signals. Consistency is a signal. Discipline is a signal. Improvement is a signal. Reliability is a signal. When you build these signals through hard work, doors open sometimes quietly, sometimes suddenly, but almost always in a way that looks like luck to people who weren't there for your effort. Hard work creates momentum. Momentum is the most underrated form of motivation. Once you have it, you don't need constant inspiration. You're already moving. Hard work is how you start momentum, and momentum is how you keep going even when you don't feel like it. The difference between hard work and pointless struggle. Let's be honest, not all hard work pays off in the way people hope. Some people work very hard and remain stuck. That's real. And it doesn't mean effort is useless, it means effort needs direction. So here's the more complete truth. Hard work pays off when it's attached to learning, strategy, and reflection. If you keep doing the same thing the same way, you might only get better at being tired. But if your hard work includes feedback, if you learn what works, adjust, and keep going, then your effort becomes a machine that produces growth. A simple rule: work hard, measure, improve, repeat. Hard work plus improvement equals inevitability. The boring habits that create big rewards. People imagine payoff as a dramatic transformation. In reality, payoff is usually the result of boring habits done for longer than most people are willing to tolerate. Here are a few boring habits that create extraordinary outcomes. Show up on schedule. Not when you feel inspired. Not when the mood is perfect. On schedule. A schedule is a promise you make to your future self. And your future self is the one who will collect the reward. Do the small version on hard days. On the days you feel unstoppable, go big. But on the days you feel heavy, do the small version. 10 minutes, 1 page, 1 paragraph, 1 set, 1 email, 1 lesson. Small work keeps the chain unbroken, and an unbroken chain becomes an identity. I'm the kind of person who doesn't quit. Practice the fundamentals. The fundamentals don't impress anyone. They also decide everything. Athletes win with fundamentals under pressure. Professionals succeed with fundamentals under deadlines. Relationships survive with fundamentals in conflict. Money grows with fundamentals over time. Hard work isn't always intensity. Often, it's returning to the basics again and again until you become dangerous. Track your progress. Your mind lies when you're tired. It tells you nothing is changing. Tracking reveals the truth. Write down what you did. Record your reps. Save your drafts. Keep your notes. Log your practice. Track your spending. Track your study time. It's hard to stay motivated when you feel stuck. It's easier when you can prove you're moving. The emotional challenge. Working without applause. One of the hardest parts of hard work is emotional, not physical. It's the loneliness of trying. It's the quiet of building. It's the lack of recognition. It's the feeling that others are moving faster. It's the doubt that creeps in at night. And it's the awkward truth that sometimes the people closest to you won't understand what you're doing. Not because they want you to fail, but because your effort forces them to face something uncomfortable. The possibility that they could be doing more too, so they may joke about your ambition. They may call you obsessed. They may tell you to relax. They may suggest you're doing too much. You don't need to be angry at them. You just need to be committed enough to continue anyway, because the reward of effort is not always praise. Often, the reward is freedom. Freedom from financial stress, freedom from insecurity, freedom from feeling unprepared, freedom from regret. The 2 kinds of pain. If you're working hard, you're probably familiar with pain. There's fatigue, frustration, setbacks, and the sting of slow progress. But pain comes in 2 forms. The pain of discipline. It's the pain of effort, focus, and sacrifice. The pain of regret. It's the pain of knowing you didn't try when you could have. The first pain hurts now and helps later. The second pain is quiet now and brutal later. Your effort will be rewarded because discipline is a down payment. Regret is a debt.